I have the executive director, Tosoga, Tosoga, Tourism Society of Ghana, Tosoga, and he is also the youth tourism ambassador for Ghana. He's the executive director for Tourism Society of Ghana and the youth tourism ambassador for Ghana. Mr. Joseph Amartey is here. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you doing?
By God's grace,
everything is good. You are managing. You are not managing. You are living.
Once you have life, no complaint.
No, you won't be in the group of the people managing. You are the tourism youth ambassador.
Yeah.
And also the executive director for Tosoga, Tourism Society of Ghana. You can't manage. You are not allowed to manage. You should be living. You know, people are living. Sorry. Others are existing, and others are surviving. These are basically the three categories of life.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it. Well, generally, yes.
That's how it is.
We have the ones surviving, we have the ones existing, and the ones. But you are not allowed to be among the managing group. You are living. Anyway, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay. Well, we know about the Ministry of Tourism. We know the Ghana Tourism Authority and their works towards tourism promotion in Ghana. This is the Tourism Society of Ghana. Tell us what you really do.
Okay. Thank you very much. And let me once again use this medium to greet my authorities or the decision makers of the tourism sector. I mean the Honorable Sector Minister with his deputy, Marco Mante, and all directors of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. And then the management team of the Ghana Tourism Authority, led by Mr. Akwesi Ajimai, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, and all the council members of the Ghana Tourism Federation and the national executives of the Tourism Society of Ghana. Yeah, Tourism Society of Ghana has been a household name since 2006. And no one in Ghana or no one probably that belongs to the tourism sector can tell you he or she doesn't know of Tosoga. Tosoga is indeed a household name now. Tourism Society of Ghana was probably has been existing since 2006, and we work closely or in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service. And then our basic mandate is to establish tourism clubs within educational establishments across the country with the basic mandate or objective of promoting domestic tourism from the grassroots. We realized that our culture at a point in time was just fading. Ghanaian youth were not believing in themselves. We were not giving priority to our beautiful culture that we have. So we step in that, what can we do? Because at least we must appreciate what we have. We must love what we have. And we must really feel proud of who we are. So this came in as an intervention or as a project that today we can boldly say that it has helped Ghanaians, Ghanaian youth, children can now be proud of who they are and where they're coming from, especially being Ghanaians. And when you talk about the sectors that you have mentioned, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is always it's a policy or it's a mother body of the tourism sector that has agencies, over 12 agencies operating under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and one is the Ghana Tourism Authority. And then each of these agencies with their rules or their mandates. We know the Ghana Tourism Authority are a regulatory body. They regulate our system, the hotels, giving licenses and stuff like that. We also have the National Theatre as an agency, Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, National Commission on Culture, Bureau of Languages, and so on and so forth. The Du Bois Center, George Padmore, all these are agencies under the Ministry of Tourism. We also have private agencies who are also supporting this organization, and Tourism Society of Ghana happen to be one of those private agencies working closely with the Ghana Tourism Authority to promote domestically. The government has put together what we call the PPP, that's a private public partnership. So all these two are working together to promote domestic tourism and to make Ghana attractive to the world.
All right. So that it means the Tourism Society of Ghana is profit oriented?
No, we are not profit oriented. It is a non-profit organization. Over the years, we've had so much support from government because the government realized or noticed that the Tourism Society of Ghana are doing a very great work. Most of the events that happens within the tourism space and Tourism Society of Ghana plays a role or always acknowledged or recognized by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Ghana Tourism Authority. Like I said earlier, we've been partners to the Ghana Tourism Authority. So all the national events you see, there cannot be national events without Tourism Society of Ghana, because we can boast of over 50,000 to 70,000 students membership nationwide who are really members of the tourism club, because we feel these are the people we need to really meet to do more of what we call tourism education for them to understand what it's all about.
Okay, so now, why is it so important that the Tourism Society of Ghana will take it upon themselves to be establishing tourism clubs in schools and all that? Why is tourism so important?
Yes, we realize that those who started tourism way back, some years back, the known travel and tour organization, which I wouldn't mention names, most of them, when they came, the focus was on international tourism. How do I get tourists in? How do I get visa for people to travel out to the country? So we noticed that the focus was not so much on Ghana, on domestic tourism. So our core mandate was to promote domestic tourism from the grassroots. So when we look at our target, the best partners to work with, apart from having the license or the rights from the Ministry of Tourism or the Ghana Tourism Authority, is to meet the Ghana Education Service to give us that permission to operate within their schools. So we had the permission because personally we had dialogue with the former Director General of Education, and then we showed out our intentions, what we intend doing. So they saw the sense in what my team and my authorities were really discussing with them. Said no, why not? Because the education sector has what we call extracurriculum activity, which during those hours of that time, students also meet to discuss issues or programs of interest that also support Ghana's education. And when you look at the educational curriculum today, there are a lot of tourism, culture related things that has been fused into it. And I say a big congratulations to the former NACA Director General, Mr. John A. Annan, who is the currently national president of the Tourism Society of Ghana. So you can see that the education also prioritized culture and tourism related activity. So that worked, and then we had a mandate to establish. But then we realized that this is a huge project that needs funding, since we are non-profit organization. So when we started, the Ministry of Tourism, once a while we give them a proposal or projects, sponsorship letter. They support us with our activities. Ghana Tourism Authority, and I say a very big, once again, thank you to Mr. Akwesi Agyeman and the former CEOs of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Honorable Julius, Deborah, Mr. Owusu, Osebonsu, and then currently I think Gideon Ayikwe was also about a month or two Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority. He also did his part, and then the current Chief Executive, Mr. Akwesi Agyeman, who is always supporting. So they see the need to promote domestic tourism. I think recently the Deputy CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority again gave us a letter to meet all the regional directors of Ghana Tourism Authority to work with us closely to ensure that tourism clubs are established within the schools. Having mentioned the school aspect, we also have other chapters of our operation. We have the public chapter. That's one. We have established clubs within communities. That's a public chapter, because we look at people who are doing projects that are tourism related. A fashion designer belongs to the sector, kinky seller belongs to the sector, banku seller, beads maker, and all these people. So we say, how do we bring these people together? People working within the hospitality sector, the hotels, the restaurants. So these are people who have interest, and we have put them together. When we go to communities, we have this club that meets once every month. And congratulations to Adenta Municipal Chapter of Tosoga, Mr. Ernest Boatin. He is officially launching the Tosoga branch of Adenta, God willing, next month. And then we have also opened one branch at Ewutu Senya, which of course we will also open a God willing next month. We're done with Winneba, Agotime Potoi. I was in Wa 3 weeks ago.
In a short while, we are going to be looking specifically at the Ghana month and the successes or otherwise of this particular initiative on the general picture of the tourism industry in Ghana. But highlight for us the potentials that the tourism industry has on the economy of Ghana. Why should we place so much attention on tourism as a country?
Okay. Now, when you look at the sectors or the industries within the country, I always say that tourism could even be placed either second, because contribution to Ghana's GDP, we consider oil, we consider cocoa, right? But I think tourism has also come, as at 2 years back, tourism happened to be the fourth sector that contributes to our GDP. And today, as we speak to you now, I can say on authority that it could be placed third or compete with the first and second, because the tourism industry is a giant industry that accommodates all. When you look at tourism, or much attention is put on tourism, I can tell you, tourism alone can make Ghana. Tourism alone can change Ghana. Because I always say that gone were the days when we think tourism is about going to beach to swim. Tourism is only about Obroni. I mean, a white man coming to Ghana. It is
visit
far
the zoo,
beyond that.
the zoo
And all that, you know. But tourism is far beyond that. So many things put together to make tourism. Our beautiful culture, our language, our food, our festival, all these things has been put together, and of course, it is tourism.
Our music
course,
as well.
Our music. Look at so much money that the music industry give us. Of course, when if Shatawale should announce his presence coming to this
for the concert or
now,
something like
you
that,
see how the whole place will be full up. So it tells that the creative industry is really contributing so much. Hence, tourism is a big sector that I can say that it has the potential, and of course, if much attention is put on tourism, we can really make it. I was so happy. I wasn't surprised when we celebrated the year of return.
Yes.
Look at the returns that Ghana really made. And after the year of return, we had the beyond the return, and coincidentally, COVID also came in. But even having the challenge due to COVID, still we were able to make something out of tourism. So it tells that tourism has a great potential. Serious attention has to put into it.
Well, let me ask this one, then we go to the Ghana month proper. Is it chocolate week or something?
National
the week
Chocolate Day
of Valentine's. Yes,
yeah, National Chocolate Day.
How what has been the impact of that one? Also, since you are a big player in the tourism industry,
it has been a very great thing. And I always say shout out to Jake Obechebi.
Is it National Chocolate Week or Day? It's a week-long celebration.
It's a week-long celebration. You know, Jake really did his part during his time. And apart from that, including the cool paragliding, the support they gave to it and stuff like that. When you look at National Chocolate Day, of course, I always say a big echo to the authorities of the Ghana Cocoa Board and then the Ghana Tourism Authority. My brother, gone were the days when we celebrate Vars Day. At the end of the day, when you record casualties, people who go to beaches, people who go to, I'm not saying clubs are not all that good, but I mean the minors. You realize that such celebrations, sometimes the minors are always left out. Because imagine celebrating Vars Day, going to the club, the pub, which is meant for 18 plus. You understand? So these children are left out. But the Chocolate Day includes or involves all other stakeholders to be part of this very celebration, and that also has also put Ghana Cocoa on the map. Already Ghana Cocoa is on the map, but then Oliver Twist, we always have to push this very good agenda. And of course, last year we did our part. Tourism Society of Ghana, or TOSOGA, was really highly invited by the Ghana Cocoa Board, the Ghana Tourism Authority. We played our role with the school children at the Tetekwashi runabout. Trust me, my brother, the celebration was awesome. You know, we had opportunity to have the lecturers from the Cocoa Research Institute who came to educate these children, especially on the health benefits of cocoa. We were able to share cocoa. I only have one challenge on that celebration. I feel sometimes where we go as points to share chocolate, next year and in future, that narrative must change. Must change in the sense that we must put more focus on the children within the rural areas, because people who are even cocoa farmers, most of them have not even seen the final product. They don't even know how chocolate look like, not even a chocomilo. So I feel in future, because going to airport to share to the visitors who are arriving, which has a reason, because there are people who are those foreigners who might have not even seen chocolate before, or the Ghana, it's okay. But going to probably world-class schools like I won't mention schools, but we have some class of schools that their children always have these things, this product or this sort of things at home. They drink cocoa-related products. I mean, they eat chocolate. And they do things chocolate-related. So we must go to the rural area. That has been my concern. So next year, hey, the organizers there at the Ghana Cocoa Board, I think next year, let's go to the rural areas. Let's go to where we need to really touch life. Let them see that what their forefathers started, the farming business, they sacrificed to do, today they must benefit by seeing the end product, so that at least they can also feel proud.
I think that is a very good call, because sadly there are people in very rural areas who are cocoa farmers. There's a child whose grandfather, grandmother, mother, father has been growing cocoa since God knows when, but has never seen chocolate, not to talk of taste it. Yes. But they are producers of cocoa.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, Tourism Society of Ghana, we just bought chocolate ourselves voluntarily. We went to some rural areas and shared it to our members. It feels so sad. You see, I always thank Ghana Education Service for giving Tourism Society of Ghana the opportunity to establish tourism clubs in schools. It makes us see problems and challenges, because we always relate with these children, and there are some that, my brother, when you see them, their states are so bad that I feel we need to. Ghana Cocoa Board officials who are watching this interview today, I can say on authority that when we celebrated the just ended the chocolate day at the Tete Kwashi there, one of our students who happened to be a member of the Tourism Society of Ghana, he came to perform at the grounds. I mean, I think about 11 years girl. This girl's situation was so touching. She asked that we are almost ending first term. She hasn't even bought exercise books, textbooks, nothing. So trust me, at the end of his performances, we made an ambassador for our Youth in Tourism Festival, which we are yet to unveil officially. And it was so unique celebration. At the end of the day, when he was interviewed by some media, we realized that this girl has a problem. There and then, some of the officials of Ghana Cocoa Board just voluntarily paid her books, bought textbooks, everything for this young girl. So we can tell that even in government school, they have problems. So we shouldn't go to that category A school, like you have said. Let's touch base to these government schools, these rural areas, and let them feel they are also Ghanaians. We at Tourism Society of Ghana, we are doing our quota. We need more support to do more as we have started.
Yeah, that's, I support you on that. You know, it's only fair that the King's College and the Queen's College students whose parents probably could afford chocolates on a daily basis, we still go there and be giving free chocolates to them. While the Umukoro development schools or the Umufia development schools are there, they've never seen chocolate, not to talk of taste it. But their parents are the growers of cocoa. So it's a good call. But let's come to the Ghana month now. The entire March month was dedicated to the promotion of all things Ghana. So where did this brain actually come from? From the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, or the GTA, or Tosuga?
That's the Ghana Tourism Authority.
Okay.
So they are the main brain behind this, supported by their mother, the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. And I always say that this is a good thing. The Ministry of Tourism or the Ghana Tourism Authority is a sector that I always say that personally I don't see politics there. Any minister who comes, any CEO who comes, they work progressively. You know, there has been a lot of program that was instituted by whether NDC or MPP, and it has really worked, including the current Ghana month. You know, when the GTA introduced what we call December in GH, you know, we really didn't understand the whole thing, but we realized that it was a good thing and a strategic one, because Ghana is noted to be the center of the world. People want to visit and know the place. So of course, before they come visit, you need to have activities, you need to have programs, you need to have events, at least to attract the people. So that came into play 2 years ago, and it really worked and helped the industry. Same to what we call the Heritage Month or the Ghana Month. I salute the Ghana Tourism Authority once again, because now this thing has really, I can say that our people do ask that without Heritage Month, are we not going to showcase what we have as Ghanaians? Without Heritage Month, are we not going to tell our Ghanaian story? But it is wrong. We always do daily basis. Today, as I said, the staff here, we are all into tourism. You are wearing African prints, and I feel proud of you that at least you are hosting a tourism and culture-related program, and you are showing.
We have actually been doing this for the entire month March. I don't remember the last time I wore a white shirt or anything. It has been African print throughout this month. So
then I
deserve a chocolate.
Then let me thank you on behalf of the fashion designers and the tailors.
Not the house, all the presenters.
At least I'm thanking you for putting money in their pocket, because once you wear African print, you put in money,
and you pay.
You sew and pay. So you put money in someone's pocket. So now, as I'm saying, And this is a special day. Someone may ask, if we are saying that is it necessary to do Ghana month celebration? Yeah, it is necessary in the sense that we always showcase it, we always make noise. But this is a month that has been dedicated for us to pay much attention to it. And of course, we as the Tourism Society of Ghana and our students across the country, we have all been very patriotic by patronizing what we have. Eating Ghana food, wearing Ghanaian clothing, or probably visiting some tourist attraction sites in the country. Just that in the month of March, just that we put a spotlight on the African related or Ghanaian made in Ghana stuff. Sure. So I feel it is a good thing, and the Ghana Tourism Authority instituting this is in the right direction, and it has to go on.
Yes, it will definitely have to go on. But while you were thanking myself and the other presenters on ADOA TV for wearing African prints for the entire month of March and putting money in the pockets of fashion designers, let's also say a big thank you to Fred Gift Enterprise. You see the artifacts that you see around, very beautiful. This is Jan Salinko the mask, and the one you have behind you is Odumodum. Yeah, Odumodum. And this is a globe. Yes, Nananum globe. And that one too is Ejakonimo. So like all these ones you see there, they were provided by Fred Gift Enterprise.
Because you have acknowledged those people, let me take this opportunity to encourage all students who are in secondary school, visual arts department, to take their course very serious. Sometimes saddens my heart when I see the students who are not paying priority on these visual art programs they are doing. You see, there cannot be tourism without the artist. Being the visual artist or whatever, there cannot be tourism without it. These things, anywhere you go across the world, you see these artworks there. They change our environment. Psychologically, they even change the way we think in a way. So this is a good cause. Those who are within that space or that field, they should take it so serious and see it as business. They shouldn't see it as because they have nothing doing, so they are just winding off time with with this job. It's a profession. They must really hold it in a high esteem.
Well, we all acknowledge the fact that the Ghana Month initiative, it's a very good one, and it's a laudable one that we all need to applaud. But tell us in specifics about the success story of this initiative. How has the Ghana Month specifically contributed to the promotion of culture and tourism in Ghana?
I can say the success story is huge. Beginning of everything is not easy. Every bigger thing starts on a humble platform, as I always say. And it was just a concept by the Ghana Tourism Authority, but the whole nation has really bought into it or embraced it. We had a lot of activities, one of which the Ghana Tourism Authority Ladies Club just did on Wednesday. It was so beautiful, showcasing our culture in different diverse ways, showcasing our food, our festivals, our dressing. It was so beautiful, which I was so happy. Now, apart from that, other individuals within the country took it upon themselves that this is a national celebration, hence they must involve themselves. There are some few people I have met over the years who have never put on African prints, or they don't even believe in what we have as Ghana. But during the celebration of this Ghana month, they have all put on African prints. I took some guys to some joints. Let's eat local food. Let's get some cheese. Let's get some kokonte. Let's get some banku. Let's feel Ghanaians because we are celebrating this month. So I can say that it is really a huge success, but then this is just the beginning, and then going forward we are really going to be sure at least a Ghana Month program like this has to be launched very well to get a national attention, where in future we could even have the president or having the joint stakeholders to have some sort of dialogue, get the practitioners, the tourism practitioners looking at those within the music sector, those within the arts or the craft sector, those within the hospitality sector. We need to have a dialogue, do some sort of education, because we have some few challenges facing the tourism sector, which I know we'll touch on that. Sure. But then if certain things are organized in celebrations like this, it can give the opportunity to address some of these challenges. So I can say in a nutshell, it's a good thing, and I give a thumbs up to Ghana Tourism Authority. And then the corporate affairs department of Ghana Tourism Authority, led by Mr. Jones Nelson and his vice or his deputy John Kusi, Atakakra. They are doing so well 24/7 on social media, making sure that all events happening goes out to the world for people to see what Ghana has and what we are yet to do.
Yeah. For the Ghana Month celebration, the ADOA TV, we deserve an award. Perhaps you should have brought a box of chocolate for us. You see our studio. This is not how our studio usually looks like. Okay. It's just for the purposes of the Ghana Month celebration. That's why we have brought all these decorations that you see. That's wearing African prints and all that. So good job to all the presenters and workers at ADOA TV. We really did good on this celebration. So well. And the information minister actually commended the media. Yes, for participating massively
in the Ghana Month. Yes, exactly. I think one thing I have noticed also is that most of the people within the ADOA TV, one, you have passion for tourism, and then two, you fall within the youth category. We have an award we call the Youth in Tourism Awards. So let's see, this year's edition, we'll see whether you may be qualified for one of those awards. I'm not telling you you're going to get it, but I'm telling you,
myself and my brother
tourism awards that we do, and then the Youth in Tourism Festival, which you have always been supporting. I know your producer is always supporting the Youth in Tourism awards. So thumbs up, and then on behalf of the Ghana Tourism Authority and then the tourism sector, we say Ayiko for helping celebrate the Ghana month in a grand style. It's not easy. All these are costs,
yes.
You know, to display all these things.
Money. And when you are considering candidates for these awards that you're mentioning, Sylvester Police Life, yes, okay. Yes, that guy has been working immensely. The arts that he will do to promote Ghana and tourism and our culture and other stuff. So yes, he will be a very good candidate. But you stated earlier about the challenges facing the tourism industry. So let's look at it now. What are the hindrances or the difficulties you face in your quest to promote tourism and put the Ghanaian culture there in the spotlight?
Okay, that's fine. I think let me start it micro before I come to macro.
So we have the micro and the macro.
Yes, the challenge. That's how I'm going to tell it. The micro here, I'm looking at it from the angle of Tourism Society of Ghana. Our challenge, you know, we are doing what we call tourism education, and I always say that education is always a key in promoting whatever product you have. Because when people don't know of what you have, people don't know what you do, definitely they wouldn't understand you. And what we are doing, we are building future. We are really building future, because when all other people are laying or putting attention on the international tourism or the matured one, we have come to the youth, the younger ones, and of course to build the future leaders. So we only, like I said, we are non-profit. We still need support from government, and I'm appealing to the government of Ghana that we still need the support to do more of this thing we are doing. If today we can have over 70,000 who really understand domestic tourism and now appreciate and patronize domestic tourism, 10 years of, let's say 5 years to come, you can understand that nobody will even have interest in traveling to anyone's country to even go and seek greener pastures. No one will even go and look for any white collar job. They will understand what they have, and of course start something small in terms of business, talking of the craft, talking about business, working within the hospitality space and that kind of stuff. Now, let me come to the macro, the bigger picture as a challenge to the industry. Of course, in everything there are challenges. You cannot tell me that you will always be perfect in whatever you do. There might be one or two minuses sometimes. And the challenges that I have noticed in the tourism sector here, one, I talk of tourism education again, which we have started our bit, which, of course, when you go to the corporate world, I would say marketing. Marketing is very, very important. And, of course, if you are marketing, it still boils down to education, because if you are doing the marketing, of course you are on TV, you are on radio, of course social media, but we are doing direct one, which always has been termed as education, because we go to a school, one school, we have about, let's say, 200 people who are club members, we have coordinators or teachers. Automatically, whatever tourism product we sell to them, the children close from school, they go home and they tell their parents. So you can imagine, when if a parent is not aware that there is a Kakum National Park, a child who has been taught during their club meeting there is a Kakum National Park, and they go home, they tell to their parents, their relatives, that we need to visit Kakum National Park to see the beautiful things there. We were taught about our festival. Can we go to our festival to go and see, our hometown to go and see our festival celebration, that kind of stuff. So marketing is a key, which is a challenge, and I feel we need to do more. And when we talk of the marketing, it shouldn't be only responsibility of the Ghana Tourism Authority or the Ministry of Tourism. It should be a responsibility of all. In fact, when we visit tourist attraction sites, how many of us even post it on the social media? Because when you put on social media, as much as you are telling your friends what to do, you are also marketing or selling the country to the entire world to see what we have. Another challenge that I can say that exists within the tourism sector here is the multiplicity of taxes. You know, the hoteliers are complaining, you know, so much about their utilities that they pay, and there is so much, and that has also increased the charges for the hotels. Today, ordinary person cannot go to, let's say, a 1-star or 2-star hotel to sleep because of cost. They think it's too high, but it's not high because the owners are charging so much. It is high because they factor other taxes or other charges or utilities that they pay. So when that is looked at, or government look at that, recently I saw the hoteliers probably advocating for that support, and I feel government is going to give a listening ear to them. And when that happens, that value chain, everybody will feel his or have his or her part. Then the next thing I'll talk about as a challenge within the sector here is customer service.
Yeah, customer service.
Okay. And I will take this opportunity to applaud one man, Mr. Kofi Kalib, who has taken it upon himself to champion the customer service in what we call the NACO. The customer service should be an attitude of all. We shouldn't wait, because customer service, sometimes I always say, even if you have not been in classroom before, as soon as you set up business, you start business, you must have that customer service spirit in you. Because if you don't relate with your customers very well, you can start a business today and the next day the business may collapse. There is a popular proverb in Akan that says that the same thing apply in business. You are doing business, you see your customers, you are not nice to them, or sometimes the business owners, they are sitting somewhere, they have employed people to work for them, and the people are not seeing the kind of money the owners have invested into the business, talking to clients anyhow, relating to them anyhow. You go to some places, you order for just a water, it will take you like 30 minutes, which is a common thing. Somebody comes to your hotel or restaurant, getting closer to ask the person, do you care for water? You are making your money, and you are making the person feel so proud. What is so beautiful when you go to a restaurant or hotel and the a service provider just cleans your chair, though the chair is clean already, but again clean it. You know, it's a strategy as a customer service. The way they talk, oh, you are welcome. What is so beautiful that a lady sees a man and say, hello, my dear, you are welcome. It doesn't spoil anything calling someone your dear. It's a customer service attitude that we must all really have. And at the end of the day, it's going to help the industry. And I also touched on the last one. There are numerous though, but these are few things that I think they are eating the industry up. And then of course, our infrastructure. When we talk about attraction sites, people think it's government's responsibility to always make sure that attraction sites are really put into the right direction, or is fixed well. But then I can assure you that most of these attraction sites are managed by private. They are private things, and like
they are under private management.
Most of the attraction sites we have here are owned by individuals, private or communities. The government, I'm saying the GT, they only regulate it. They tell you, hey, come on, do it this way, do it that way. If you have a restaurant, make sure you have the license. The place must be in a good, the environment must be good and that kind of stuff. So they are owned by people. So the question is that if the place is not well fixed, you have to make sure that you fix the place. We know government has its role to play when you talk of infrastructure. Let's talk about roads that leads to the attraction site. Of course, it is not the business of the business owner to do that. It's the business of the government at the end of the day. But in some places, even business owners could still help make sure we put the road that leads to your place very well. Because imagine that you have a facility that people pour water on the major route that leads to your place. Of course, you must have solved that problem. It's a sanitation issue. So of course, you can do your communal labor stuff, clean the place, get in touch with the government. What do we do to fix this place so that the place looks so attractive? Then you fix your place as well. So I feel these are the things that we as individuals, as Ghanaians, business owners, we must really understand, and then we will come together to make the change. I was happy when before I give you the opportunity, though you are hosting, but look, I'm hosting. You know, Ghana government brought what we call PPP, the private public partnership, and of course they have deliberately involved the private sector. When we talk of private sector, everybody cannot belong to this very partnership forum at the same time, but you have what we call representatives. So I say that if you belong to any business, find out the association that you have, join the association, and the association also has a mother body, which is the Ghana Tourism Federation, and you also join the mother body to make sure that you also get information that government gives out to help your business. So when anything you are doing, unity is always a key. Get involved with associations, let's have a one voice, and then we can go. Today, all the government and the politicians who are aspiring for offices, if you have the numbers and you tell them, come on, tourism industry, when you come to as a president, we need A, B, C, D. My dear, they will listen to you and we can get a solution. So let's join the association to make tourism attractive.
Okay, so you stated earlier that the Tourism Society of Ghana, your core mandate is to promote local or domestic tourism. But then the average Ghanaian sees tourism as a luxury. I say going to pay money to look at animals at the zoo, or going to pay money to visit the Kaku National Park, just walk on this hanging bridge and come home. Like, how are you putting in measures to kind of change the mindset of the Ghanaian who sees this as like it's for the rich, and like, why would you spend money on this? I mean, they don't think it's necessary.
I think in my earlier submission, I made it clear that before, people see tourism, like you said, luxury, as something for Bruni. White person coming in, or you have your money, you want to go enjoy, pay money, go and look at trees, go and swim and stuff. But the trend has changed. Tourism is far, far, far beyond luxury.
Things are getting better now.
Yeah, things are gotten. Things I can say has gotten better, but we still need more room for we have more room for improvement, or we still need to work on things. But then, like I say, it's not luxury, because tourism is not all about traveling to Kakum National Park. Tourism is all about going to hotels to sleep. It's not all about going to big restaurants to go and eat. Tourism, like I said, it cut across a whole sector. Like I made mention of our culture, our festivals that we celebrate, our food, our music, dressing, our language, our dress. All these are part of tourism. So tourism is business. It's far, far beyond luxury. I always say that people have three main reasons why they travel, or they involve themselves in tourism. One, they travel for education. Two, they travel for leisure. And three, they travel for business. Now, all these things, they are synergies, or they link. You know, so we have education, we have leisure, and we have business. Look at it. Even if you travel for funeral, you are already observing what we call tourism. Funeral is a tourism on its own, because you are leaving your destination. As the definition goes, that traveling is traveling from one destination to another, moving from one place to another. Once you have even traveled from your home to your workplace, you have observed what we call tourism. So you go for funeral, we have funeral tourism. You go for weddings, you go for parties, because once you travel from your comfort zone to another zone, you become a tourist. And I say, you are going to put money into people's pockets, because if you travel here to Kumasi, you wouldn't say that you will carry your food, your water, your drink, everything from Accra to Kumasi. When you get to Accra, you will sleep in a hotel, you leave money in people's pockets. You're going to buy food, you eat their kenke or their bankun that they sell there, you buy their local drinks or whatever. So you realize that it is more business than leisure. Now, I understand the angle you are coming from, because people see tourism to be an expensive thing. Because as a youth, how do I'm not even having a better work? How do I even spend so much money to travel to A, B, C, D places? But then, as part of what we're doing as tourism education or tourism class within the schools, we teach the children about what we call planning. Anything you do in this wild world, if you don't plan, you will never succeed. You will definitely fail. We don't factor the tourism thing in what we do. When you go to the foreign or Western countries, you see a young foreigner, a young white lady travel to Africa on their own. They have planned for it. You know that you are working here in ADOA TV. If you really have tourism at heart, you really want to be a proud Ghanaian, you can save towards maybe your leave, that during your leave, you like to visit a place or two. That is when you understand the importance of traveling. Because even when you travel, psychologically, it even have an effect on us. I always tell the ladies that if you are broken-hearted, the best solution is tourism.
Oh, remedy for broken heart.
I'm telling you honestly, it's tourism.
Tourism.
Yes.
Okay.
Just travel.
You need to travel.
You need just travel. You just go to the beach. Just go to a nice serene. I mean, just travel. Leave that where you have that your problem. Change your environment.
No wonder the rich are always able to recover quickly. when they get broken heart, because they have the means to travel and explain these things.
So if we plan, you see, in Africa, in Ghana, or in this world, I can say that anything you do or anything you plan for, you can make it. Let me tell you, I want to use myself as an example.
You recover from a broken heart?
Not broken heart, I said, but I'm talking about planning. When we started this thing, I wasn't like this. People who know me, one day when I come here, I would like you guys to play my past. When I started tourism, I throwback like 15 years back. I wasn't like this. I was like cancel. Those when I go back and watch my videos, I feel ashamed, and I say, I feel so. How do I even tell it? But it's so interesting. It's so interesting when I draw back and I see myself before and now. You must be focused in whatever you want to do. This media thing you are doing, it's not about money, but it's about having the passion to do it. Today, my name as Joseph Amartey has become a household name. If you mention Joseph Amartey in Ghana, everybody knows me. If you Google Joseph Amartey, you go to my YouTube name, Facebook, everything Joseph Amartey, you will see it. People see me today and they feel like, oh, this guy is a big man. This guy is making myself. When you hear the titles,
and it was your passion for tourism that got you here.
Passion for tourism that got me where I am today, and I'm still working. Don't forget that the more you grow higher, the bigger the challenges. Trust me, the more you grow in business or whatever you have put before us, the challenges, the more the challenges. So you have to prepare for those challenges. How do you overcome the challenges? People really don't look at you. They don't care about what you have gone through. They care about your present state. People just call me on phone. Mr. Amartey, we have a program. We want to invite you to US. We want to do this, do that. Sometimes I don't even have the means. They feel like I can finance it. I can't finance it. If you want to invite me, finance it for me. You know, because they feel the way they see it at the end result, though we are still working, but they feel, oh, it's okay. So I'm just using this medium and taking this opportunity to advise the youth that nothing easy comes on a silver platter. But let's be focused and work towards our goals. And of course, if you do it that way, you are definitely going to really achieve whatever you have before you. Me, my joy today is that Ghanaian children, Ghanaian youth now talk tourism. They eat tourism. They drink tourism. I stopped wearing foreign print over the years. I've been wearing this African print. I've been eating my kokonte, my banku anywhere I go. You know, the Voyage Afrique somewhere, Oben, he knows me. Anywhere we go, I say I want my banku. My kokonte. These are the kind of food I like, because you need to really love what you have, and they are very nutritious to also help push out. How do you eat foreign products? Recently, Tourism Society of Ghana, we organized what we call leadership in Christ seminar on tourism and culture. Do you know what happened? Some people were even reading meaning into Ghanaians putting on beads on both their hand or their ankles to be fetished. Considering some of the churches, so seeing their colleagues who put on African prints in the traditional way to be a fetish dressing, which is wrong. This is what we have, and of course we should be able to be proud of who we are and what we have. So we organize this very concept, and then we change the way they think, because we feel that the churches have the masses. So if this thing is happening, because when we see some of these things, they become threats to the industry. So as soon as we see it as a Tourism Society of Ghana, as an organization, we make sure that how do we also help solve this problem? Solving such problems, sometimes we could just go to the government give us money to solve this. But we said no, we are not going to government to probably help us solve it, because when you say you are relying on government, you know at the end they make any results. But you have to make the move or start. Once you start, the government see what you are doing. They don't have any option than to come to your aid and give you that support.
Well, talking about popular misconceptions with regards to culture, like you mentioned earlier, you would be in your African clothes, your typical kente with beads on your wrist and ankle, and someone would think it is fetish. You are doing abosun or something like that.
Yes.
And then also in the educational sector, there's also this notion that the young ones coming up who want to venture into visual arts, and these ones, they are the ones that can't do science, or they can't do the general arts or other stuff.
Right.
So yes, in that regard also, are you making any gains there?
I think one thing I always say is that anytime I get an opportunity to meet the youth clubs, I mean the schools where we have the clubs, I take an advantage of the fact that I've met them to hammer on some of these things. People think students doing visual art, home economics, technical related courses,
they don't know book.
They don't know book. And it is wrong. I tell them. But these things sometimes start from the parents themselves. So any parent out there, let's take this serious. And then because they feel my child didn't perform well, let me put him in visual arts or home economics. It is wrong. These are people me are prioritizing all things I do because they belong to the sector and they are the people who are driving the economy. My dear brother, when you are doing visual arts, you are doing home economics, you are doing technical related course, does not mean you didn't do well or you probably you are minors in terms of education. But I always say that one comes from the parents, two, the children or the students who are offering the course themselves. You go to a secondary school, this thing I've said it on this medium before, that you go to secondary school and even the students themselves don't give premium to themselves. They give premium to business students, science students, and then the general students, which is wrong. So even if they are vying for positions, the SRC offices, these home economic students and then the visual art students, what I'm saying, take it, you can even do research, go throughout the country. When you go to SRC, the reps of the students, minority are the visual and home economics students.
Yes, it's
minority. Many times they think it is, and the teachers sometimes are also contributing factors because they don't encourage their students to take up this mantle. They rather encourage the science student, the business student, and stuff like that. And you see, Tourism Society of Ghana, our association or the formation of this organization, basically to address some of these problems and also to help bridge the gap between academia and industry in terms of tourism and hospitality. Because we are saying that, no, you cannot say that this person is doing this, so therefore he does not belong to this sector. When we were talking about excursion, recently we said, no, people learning, how many fashion designers do you see that once a while they organize excursion to go to an attraction site? But students do, university students do, secondary student, basic school. But those who are out of GHS and they are in the learning the fashion, the vocational side, they don't even do this. And so we have been doing this thing for them occasionally. Just that we don't really make so much noise of these things, bringing them on social media, because basically what we're trying to achieve is that people must understand, and of course what they are doing, love Ghana, put premium on Ghana, and of course promote Ghana. That's what we do. So this is what we're trying to really bridge, and I'll make sure that everybody becomes equal when it comes to tourism.
So love Ghana, put premium on Ghana, and promote Ghana. So the very last words that Joseph Amartey has said here on the show, and he is the executive director for the Tourism Society of Ghana and then the Tourism Youth Ambassador for Ghana. So a big man he is there. So we are having this conversation on tourism and culture. This show is brought to you by Provident Insurance. Today is 31st March and Provident really deserves a round of applause. They've really done well. Yes. You know the entire March month was a period where Provident was giving away gifts like that.
Provident Insurance.
Provident Insurance, yes. Okay. So today being the last day, I think so they were giving away fuel coupons and other Provident branded souvenirs, and it was very simple. All you had to do was go and renew your existing motor insurance policy with them, or insure your new vehicle or your new motor with them, and bam, you are there.
I'm happy Provident Insurance has supported the tourism program. Yeah. I'm using this on Medium. Let them know, whoever is working in Provident Insurance, that Tourism Society of Ghana, with our numbers, we want to do business with you.
Oh, okay.
We want to do business with you for supporting tourism. So let's get in touch.
Nat is around. Nat will help
let's
you with
get in touch and see what we can do. And what I'm talking about, the smart people within the Provident Insurance, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. And Fred Gift Enterprise as well. Fred Gift Enterprise. So these artifacts that you see around in the studio, they provided them. Special thank you to Fred Gift Enterprise as well. So we are just about concluding on this our conversation, but I'll go back to Mr. Joseph Amartey and take his final words. So we wrap up this segment. I told you earlier that we'll be having the ladies club of the Ghana Tourism Authority here in the studio. So we'll be doing a build-up conversation on what they came here and we had last week. It was the Rep Your Region competition or event, and they are done with that. So we are going to talk about that one. But Mr. Amartey, let's take your final words that we wrap up this particular segment.
Okay. My final words, let me take this opportunity to thank ADOA TV to always helping promote domestic tourism. Of course, your medium is making our work a bit easier for us. And then also, Tourism Society of Ghana, like I said earlier, this year, our Youth in Tourism Awards will be open very soon. The Youth in Tourism Festival, last year we did it in collaboration with the University of Education, Winneba, chaired by Neyi Gate, the paramount chief of Futu. This year it's happening again. So we'll be launching the festival very soon. We are inviting all youth across the country to be part. This is our festival. We want to make noise. Let the world know that Ghana, we have something. The youth, we love tourism. We need thousands of the youth. Anything you are doing, whether you are selling sobolo, fashion designer, whatever you are doing that is tourism related, be part of this very festival. We need sponsors and partners also to make sure that this Youth in Tourism Festival becomes Krabeshe. I thank everybody, and then also the Ghana Tourism Federation. I know we have some few court issue at the Ghana Tourism Federation, but with God in our boat, everything will be fine. And then the accounts will say, "Yebe fire in Tumapa Afra Bium." Tourism Society of Ghana, as we always say, Tosoga is the gateway to domestic tourism. We are still pushing. We also keep pushing and put Ghana first in all that you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is it. Ghana being the gateway to Africa, and Tosoga also being the gateway to domestic tourism. Two major gateways. They're collaborating to put Ghana out there. So thank you for your time on the show this morning. This is AM Ghana that you're still watching. My name is Nana Kwame.